And I like a fool से सीधी हूँ बात तक नहीं.
Wow. What'd you
Wow.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds, and this
Yeah, I
year
could
our
see,
holiday commercial.
I
it's
could
just
see
stuff
that
I
they were
picked up
looking for an
$5
actor.
from a yard sale.
Oh,
I could
good.
see that they were looking for somebody and they had to look through
We tried
self-tapes.
a lot of actors from Bombay, Delhi, everywhere. So we started looking for actors of Indian origin who were born and raised in the US.
Hi, my name is Omi Vaidya. I live in Los Angeles. I was born in America.
We found one actor from there who doesn't know Hindi, but he's got a great memory. He memorized it and speaks it. So the accent he manages to give is hilarious.
सुन मरवई आ गए हैं. This is correct बोल
He doesn't
रही
speak Hindi.
रहा है.
When I got there, they gave me actually Sherman's role to read. And I started reading it, and as soon as I read it off the paper, they were like, "You don't speak this language. There's no room for you in this film."
Oh यार, anyway, चलो. We talked, we made good now. चलो, I'll see you later.
But then they said, you know, you have a very interesting way of speaking Hindi. And we would like you to read for another role that we haven't written. So why don't you read this monologue from Lage Ro Munna Bhai?
नल है लेकिन पानी नहीं है. बल्ब लगे रहे लेकिन बिजली नहीं.
नल है लेकिन पानी नहीं है. बल्ब लगा रहे और बिजली नहीं है.
But there was no coordination between what he was saying and between what his hands were doing.
रोड पे गाड़ी कम
Perfect for the part. I love this guy. There's no coordination between what he's saying and what his hands are doing.
और फुटपाथ पे तुम चल नहीं सकता क्योंकि दुकान खड़ा रहा है.
You don't know what lines they're going to give you. And you're just going to have to do it like a puppet almost, you know?
पिछले 32 साल से इन्होंने निरंतर इस कॉलेज में बलात्कार पे बलात्कार किए.
इसका मतलब है चमत्कार पे चमत्कार किया है.
उम्मीद है आगे भी करते रहेंगे. हमें तो आश्चर्य होता है कि एक इंसान अपने जीवन काल में इतनी बलात्कार कैसे कर सकता है.
He shows us the importance of what it is to be a trained actor.
Dutiful, sucking up to the teachers kind of a guy who wants to be the good old boy all the time, follow the rules all the time.
Sir, Ram.
Omi is a real find. He really brought the character of Chatur alive. He's performed it so well.
Thank you. Please, thank you.
That was great. I love seeing videos. If you haven't seen like the auditions for like The Office, it's very famous. Like they interviewed every known actor that you know now and love.
Yeah.
In these iconic roles for The American Office.
Same thing's true for the self-tapes for The Godfather.
Yeah.
They were auditions. They weren't self-tapes. They was just the auditions for The Godfather.
It's always,
De Niro auditioning to be Sonny.
Yeah. It's always super interesting because after it happens and it becomes iconic, you're like, I can't see anybody else in
the
this
role, right?
But then, like, it's in the Office one, I'm like, yeah, they've made the best choices for these characters, and in some, I'm like, that could have been interesting,
Right.
Like Bob Odenkirk, I
Right.
feel like might have been
That might have been a good Michael.
even though
a
obviously
very different Michael.
Carell is perfect,
It would have been a very different Michael,
but
it could have worked. And that's the other thing that's wonderful to see for actors, especially for new actors, but all actors need to be reminded of this. But for new actors, especially, the reality that there are so many factors that have nothing to do with you.
Yep.
That are the larger part of the process. And when you get to see or be involved in casting, that's one of the best things you could do as an actor, is be involved in casting. Because once you're involved in casting, you realize how many things that have nothing to do with whether or not you're a good actor or they like you that come into play. That you got to be a good actor.
Yeah.
And hopefully they like you.
Sometimes not.
But it's the larger thing is this what we're looking for? Or, did you bring something completely different that we didn't even know we needed?
Yeah,
Like this.
like that.
a wonderful behind the scenes is if you watch Open Range, which is one of my favorite Westerns, the behind the scenes footage that's supplemental to that is wonderful because Costner brings you into the casting process and how difficult it is because there's so many good actors and how he hated saying no to the ones that were so good. But sometimes you get two actors and the one actor fits because the script says biologically they look like that and the other person can't biologically look like that. But they're great in the part, and you'd want to give him the role, but you can't do it because he looks like it could be the brother of the, there's so many factors.
Yeah.
So I love that.
And
process.
this is so interesting because it has that factor of reasons that Indians find this role funny is because of the way he speaks.
Which was way over our head.
No, we'd never.
We would have had no idea that that was part of the comedy.
I'm guessing it was part of the comedy that this guy is not a Hindi speaker.
Right.
And so he's speaking like broken Hindi or like way he's saying stuff is
Makes
just
him just a weirdie.
incorrect. And I find that is a big part of comedy, especially in Hindi movies, I found.
It is.
The way people speak, their dialect. And so, and I'm sure as an actor, it must have been kind of difficult. I'd only done one scene in Hindi ever. And but I had the reference of Shahid to kind of
get an idea.
I knew what I was saying because I had the entire scene translated, so I knew exactly what I was saying. But the words coming out of my mouth weren't the.
It is the weirdest, disconcerting, get you in your head. I don't know how anybody does a scene in a language they don't know, simply memorizing the phonetics, but not knowing what they're saying.
Yeah.
I know I personally I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my head. I don't know how to be believable doing that. So for anybody that can do that, which happens a lot in Indian cinema. I mean, Shreya talked about how often she will sing in another language and she doesn't know the words, but she knows what they're supposed to be conveying. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Wild.
Super interesting. I think he actually lives here.
Still.
Almi.
Yeah.
And I think he's an LA resident and he acts in I don't know if he acts in Indian films still, but I know he does Hollywood. I know he was in The Office, speaking of The Office.
Yeah.
He was in The Office. He was the IT guy.
Yep, the IT
I think
guy.
he played a Punjabi in it. He had a turban on and everything from what I remember of his character. It's just so funny. I've been one of the, outside of Irfan, I guess, one of the first Indian actors we ever saw.
Right.
First Indian actor I probably ever saw was actually probably Nasir, because I saw, what was that, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Oh, yeah.
And he played a character in that one.
Yeah.
And I saw that when I was like 10.
Yeah, you know who mine was. Magumbo Kushwa.
Oh. Yeah, that could have been that too.
For me, it was absolutely
I saw that.
Kalima. That was.
I saw that very young too, so it could have been
That's
him.
my first Indian actor I ever saw.
And it was probably Irfan after that.
Yeah. The first Indian actor I saw in a role that it was Irfan. And it was Life of Pi.
Yeah. That's most people, right?
Yep. I mean, yeah, it was Life of Pi. Which Taboo was in. As was man, who played her husband, the dad? We know him. I'm forgetting. But also I saw Slumdog, so I was exposed. I'd love to see Slumdog again and be astonished at how many actors are in that we know.
I watched
Got to be 10.
a few years ago.
Yeah, there's got to be 10 of them. I know Anil Kapoor has got a big part in that.
Yeah.
But there's got to be at least 10.
There's smaller ones that you'll recognize too, though.
I'm sure.
I saw it a few years ago after we had started the channel already. So, yeah. Anyways, that's always fun. If there's other kind of audition kind of videos, be interesting to watch. I love these kind of videos because it's the real part of the industry people don't often see.
Yep.
Auditioning is kind of terrible, unfortunately, just because, yeah, I mean, it's part of the biz and you got to do it, but it doesn't make it like fun. Because you're still like, all right, I have to put myself in this world, but these people are sitting here and judging me.
Yeah, I've grown to love auditioning. I've grown to love auditioning.